we're also seeing the industry come out with a lot of products focused on this theme. So that brings me to the next point about thematic funds, whether it's a fund focused on PSUs or on defense or on EVs, because we keep having those conversations, right? So all of these themes focused on what the government intends to do over a long term. What is your take on this? Is it too risky? Is it really a good investment choice or a good investment direction rather than something which is interesting in a marketing sense? It sounds great, right? But is it really the best choice?
So I tell you where, how we think about it. I think investor risk appetite, as you're saying, has just gone up in general. And a lot of these thematic funds and thematic NFOs come out. And we did some interesting study. If you look at the long-term return of equity markets, it's about 15%. The long-term return of all these sectors is 15%. So in the long term, there's actually not that much sector deviation. But the reality is there are phases when manufacturing does well, there are phases when financial services does well, all of that is good. The problem, however, is two. One, sometimes these launches come out a little bit after the run-up has happened. So for instance, if you go back last year, the PSU, the 10-year return of PSU funds was something like 7 to 9%. Nobody cared about PSU as a category. It's been a great year for PSUs. That 10-year return suddenly looks double digits. Everyone's launching PSU funds. The other problem consumers have is the entry point is much easier. Exiting a thematic idea is very tricky because it's difficult to get the timing of that right. So, long-term structural themes like consumption, financial services are still, less cyclical. But some of these other themes, in my view, can be very cyclical. So it requires very sensible entry and exit. And, we at Edelweiss MF are trying to find alternative solutions to solve the problem, some of which I'm hoping we'll talk about.
No, absolutely. We'll get to the Edelweiss Business Cycle Fund.